To say to everyone tonight, this is going to be a powerful call. This call is for you. It is about you. And as Washington State University says, this is the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And speaking of medicine, there's no greater person to share his incredible wisdom, his knowledge about this awesome product than Dr. Rich, who brings over 30 years' experience in his field as a naturopath doctor. He has serviced more than 10,000 patients. And you know what? People love Dr. Rich as well and appreciate his wisdom, always willing to share and always willing to give. Dr. Rich, sir, thank you so much. I turn this over to you.
Well, thanks so much, Paulette. And this is going to be a call where I hope I can cover everything in a short period of time, because I am just absolutely blown away about what I've learned this week. And it just solidifies the fact that, yes, everybody that's listening in tonight, I hope many of you for the first time, I hope that I can teach you enough information and make sense of all of this information relative to health and wellness that you can make a decision to create optimum health for you, your family members, your dog, your horse if you have one, because the availability of something to do that, to cause that to happen, is right in the palm of your hands, and it's very simple to do it. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is the fact that this week I spent a considerable amount of time at the U.S. National Library of Medicine. No, I didn't go to Washington, D.C. I did all of the studying online. The U.S. National Library of Medicine is called PubMed.gov. This is our government's library for storing medical research. And what I learned, and here goes, listen to this, that there are, I saw that it had listed that there were at least 240, and David said 350, I don't know how many diseases, but a lot that are treated by surgery, prescription medication, injections, and other modalities of treatment and testing. And for every disease, there are multiple treatments. So do the math. If there's 240, 300 diseases, and they're all treated in a different way, and there are multiple treatments for each one of those 240 to 300 diseases, this is a complex process, folks, and it's important. And for every treatment, there are usually one and sometimes several meds that are prescribed relative to the diagnosed condition. And every one of those medications carry with them listed side effects. Some of those side effects are severe, and in some cases, doctors have to adjust the medications that they've administered to that patient. Some meds are too strong. Some meds are not strong enough. Again, adjustments have to take place. And why? Because everybody is different. Everybody is created differently. Everybody's cell structure is different. And I'm going to elaborate on this in just a minute. Hopefully it's going to be very clear. It's like turning on the light switch, and it's like a flash, a revelation. I get it. This is so simple. But yet, right now, the way things are, it's not a simple process. But it will be in 20 minutes. Some of the medications that doctors prescribe don't do what they expect, so they have to change the prescriptions, adjust them, take some away, maybe add new ones, maybe take them all away, maybe make a different decision. Some medical issues, according to what I learned on the National Library of Medicine site, some medical issues require surgery, and surgeries, plural. More than one surgery. And then there's post-surgery issues. There's short-term medications, long-term medications, rehabilitation. There's a prescription protocol. Sometimes it's for life. Sometimes there are multiple. Sometimes it causes side effects and people don't feel well, but that's how that patient's symptoms are managed. I could keep going and going and going relative to what I learned and how this all is administered, but medical care is complex, and it's extensive, and it's expensive. And there's more that I could add. There was so much more that I could add. I mean, oh, my God, it was mind-boggling. But I think all of you kind of get the picture. This is not an easy proposition if we get sick to get well. It's really involved. And relative to all that I just mentioned about PubMed.gov, what it stated was that even though there are so many diseases that are diagnosed and treated, there's only one cause to all of them. One culprit, one cause to all the multitudes of the treatments and the expense, etc. One simple cause. Now, the cause of all these diseases, according to the information and the research logged on the U.S. National Library of Medicine, is something that you all have heard about. It's called free radical damage. And a free radical is simply an atom with unpaired molecules, and that atom goes around scavenging for other molecules and snatches the molecule and damages tissue and DNA and cells in the body, and this goes on, this domino effect, and it continues. The older we get, the worse it gets. The free radical damage eventually leads to something in medicine called age-related oxidative stress, and this is what was mentioned on PubMed.gov. Relative to every single disease, the testing was for age-related oxidative stress. And it's defined, oxidative stress, as a disturbance, listen to this, in the balance between the production of reactive oxygen species. Now, in our terms, reactive oxygen species are free radicals and antioxidant defenses. So what it's saying is that if we have antioxidant defenses, that we could manage these symptoms and diseases. Well, does it mean we take inordinate handfuls of antioxidants to overcome these problems? No, that's not what it means at all. So I'm going to focus on this medical dilemma, because if one can learn to control that reality, well, one can acquire optimum health. But let's romance this for just a minute. Let's go back to PubMed.gov in the U.S. National Library of Medicine's documented information. Now, focus on this closely. This just blew my mind. And it said in there, and I'm going to read exactly from the text, it said that there are different types of oxidative stress biomarkers. And they have been identified, each of the biomarkers, and may provide important information about the efficacy of the treatment. It means how a doctor is going to treat the disease relative to what they see. What's that biomarker? What's it saying relative to that oxidative stress level? Guiding the selection of the most effective drugs, dose regimens for the patient, acting on a specific therapeutic target. So all that this is saying in medical terms is that these biomarkers, whether it's cancer, breast cancer, whether it's bladder cancer, whether it's kidney disease, whether it's liver disease, whether it's thyroid disease, whether there's a problem with the eyes or in the brain, etc., all the tests are relative to this culprit called oxidative stress. That's what the medical journals say, the free radical damage. And the worse it is, the more powerful the drug that they prescribe relative to how much damage of oxidative stress there is in the tissue. Now listen to some of the diseases that were mentioned, all talking about oxidative stress as the cause of these diseases. Heart disease. There were 15 different heart disease maladies that were mentioned, and all talking about the level of oxidative stress as a doctor would look at each one to determine how to determine a treatment for each one of those problems. Diabetes, diabetic neuropathy, COPD, dementia, Alzheimer's, pulmonary fibrosis, asthma, eye diseases like cataracts and macular degeneration, rheumatoid arthritis, joint diseases, fibromyalgia, cancer. There were 25 different types of cancer listed, all looking at the level of oxidative stress or free radical damage as the cause of the disease. Okay, obesity, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, lupus, kidney disease, autoimmune disease, reproductive system disease, skin diseases, blood disorders, liver and pancreatic disease. I'm getting out of breath. I got a whole lot more listed, but I think you get what I'm saying here. This is the most prestigious medical library, the most prestigious site for storing medical research, and it's every one of the diseases, it says the cause is the same. Oxidative stress, free radical damage. Okay, now but then there was 35 or 40 pages of information from this just one study. But there was this one little paragraph as a conclusion, and listen to what it says. In order to maintain a defense against the destructive reactive oxygen species. The reactive oxygen species are the free radicals, or the age-related oxidative stress. It says an appropriate balance of enzymatic anti-oxidative defenses are necessary. So what they're saying is, if you want to overcome these problems that medical doctors call diseases, and they diagnose them as such, you simply have to develop a balance relative to the numbers or the massive amount of free radical damage or age-related oxidative stress, in some way to have an anti-oxidative defense to neutralize the cause or the free radicals that are making people sick and developing all the symptoms. Okay, but the medical treatments, all of them, they just treat the symptoms. They don't treat the cause. They don't do anything to create that balance. Okay, so it says if the balance is created, symptoms disappear. Okay, the medical doctors or naturopaths like myself, we just never did overcome the cause. We just gave the patient something to treat the symptoms. Always the symptoms, okay? So now, wow, where do we go from this? Okay, in order to determine what the solution is, and we have one, folks, we have a very simple solution. Let's first consider a couple of things to make this really, really clear so that when we're done in the next 12 minutes, you can be really excited about your tomorrow and your reality. Let's first talk about a medical term. I ran into a friend of mine who was a former sales rep for pharmaceuticals, and he said, Rich, let me tell you something. He said, you know that everybody's genome is available. You can get them for $1,000. And if you take your genome into a doctor, genome into the doctor, they'll know exactly what medications to give you. And I said, well, what if you're not sick? He said, doesn't matter. He said, it'll prevent things, and it'll take care of things, and it's exactly what that person needs. Well, wonder what he was talking about. Well, a genome, according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, is the genetic material that you're born with. It's your complete set of genetic instructions. It's your DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. It can't be changed. It's your stuff. It's what God created in you to be. You are different than everybody else. That's why none of these drugs, none of these treatments that I did, they don't work for everybody because everybody's cells are different and their need is different. So that's the problem. Your genome is like written in pen, in permanent magic marker. It can't be changed. It's you. However, Your epigenome is your network of chemical compounds that interact with what you're made of, that DNA, your stuff. Your epigenome directs which genetic material to activate or which to leave inactive. It's the mechanism that turns on or turns off what's very important in your makeup, your DNA. The epigenome is affected by, listen to this, your personal health, your diet, your nutrition, exercise or lack thereof, and other lifestyle choices, and our age, specifically age 30. Don't forget that age. I'm going to talk more about that in just a minute. Your epigenome. Think about it this way. It's written in pencil. The epigenome can be altered to your benefit, and if you don't take care of it, and those messages to the cells, to your detriment. Okay? So the epigenome affects which genetic material is active. It can be positively affected. But now, what does all this mean? It doesn't talk about this in PubMed.gov, does it? Wrong. It does talk about this. It talks about a new science called nutrigenomics. And nutrigenomics combines the study of nutrition and gene expression. And how we age, or how fast we age, or can we slow aging down? It's the study of how compounds in our food turn on or turn off certain genes. It's the science that deals with our genome, our epigenome, simply and inexpensively can be altered and attended to so that every single person on this call and everyone on this call that you know can have optimum health. Let me provide an example relative to food and how important it is to our good health. There are compounds in broccoli that can switch on a gene that helps the body to detoxify some of the chemicals we're exposed to each day. So it's good to eat broccoli. Former President Bush didn't think so, but a lot of other people do. However, 20% of the general population are missing that gene that's positively affected by broccoli. Why? Because the one thing that makes us all the same is we're all different cellularly. That's the way God made us. So some people aren't positively affected by eating broccoli, but others are. Some people are positively affected by using certain medications, and some people aren't. They don't work. It's because we're all different. Our cellular needs are different. That's why we've got to go in a new direction, this new paradigm shift called nutrigenomics. So this relatively new science, the future maybe of all of medicine, is important to each of us, and it's to us uniquely, individually. Nutrigenomics proves that what we eat directly determines the genetic messages that our cells send and receive. And folks, we live and we die at the cellular level, and everyone is created with a different set of cells and a different set of cellular need. So here's the revelation. If one can learn the language of your genes and control the messages and instructions that those messages provide to your cells, then and only then you can alter, by using nutrigenomics, how food interacts with your body, and you can optimize your health regardless of your age or your current level of wellness or diagnosed health status. Whew, I got to take a breath here. Okay, so what can a person do relative to what I'm teaching here? Staying well or getting well is very complicated by what we've been taught to understand and believe anyway. But it's really not that complicated. Well, thanks to the science of nutrigenomics and 45 years of dedicated research by one scientist and his team, we now have a simple, very simple solution to achieving optimum health. How? By using food. Food. Not just everything that's out there at the restaurants and the grocery stores and so on, but a specific, powerful, natural, botanical made of 5 food substances. It's revolutionary, it's miraculous, and it's results-oriented and medically validated over 4.5 decades that it's going to work for all of us and provide for our needs. So let's switch our focus to the scientist and his research. In this scientist's words, he says that staying healthy, delaying or preventing disease, eliminating your nagging chronic symptoms that you've been suffering from for maybe a long time, and adding at least 3 to 5, adding 3 to 5 great quality years to your life is as simple as taking just one natural but powerful yellow tablet, which is food, with your breakfast each day. Here is what his research says that each of you should expect to happen if you choose to start taking it. It says that everyone needs it because it works for everyone at every age, regardless of your diagnosed health status. Unlike all other supplements or prescriptions that don't work for everybody, this one has been medically proven to work for everybody, regardless of your cellular makeup. The supplement will give them the edge on turning back the clock, erasing years inside their body, because the mystery of aging has been scientifically unraveled. He said it's in a class by itself. This is the class of science called nutrigenomics. It stands alone. It causes the cells of the body to delay or even avoid disease while adding years to your life. Did you hear what he said? He didn't say that the pill cured everything, because it doesn't cure anything. It activates the cells of the body to delay or even avoid disease while adding years to your life. Activates your cells, which are unique to you and different from everybody else's. So when we are birthed to 30 years of age, our cells produce 4 enzymes: glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase, and hemioxygenase. Each of these enzymes neutralize 1 million free radicals per second, 24 hours a day, delaying aging and promoting optimum health. However, at this time in our life, at 30 years of age, all of us begin this enzyme production that of those 4 antioxidative enzymes, it starts to decrease until there are more free radicals than those 4 enzymes can neutralize. This is the plateau. This is the issue. This is the problem for medical treatment, because age-related oxidative stress starts to win the battle here. It gets more extensive the older we get, and this is the time when aging begins and disease starts to manifest. And the older we get, the worse, the more the evidence of aging it shows in our body, and the diseases start coming one right after the other. So let's look at 7 things that you can expect. You can take these to the bank, because they have been medically validated over and over and over again by the most prestigious medical research institutions in the United States. Number 1, the yellow tablet. Taking this is research is based on 1 tablet a day with breakfast. It is clinically proven. Focus on this. Oh, God, this is so exciting. It is clinically proven to reduce our body's oxidative stress level, which is the cause of all disease, all of them, by 40% in just 30 days. The 4 antioxidant enzymes that I talked about that are reduced at age 30, they're again produced at birth to age 20 levels, thus stopping cellular damage that is occurring. Cellular intelligence will be triggered. What does that mean? Now your cells recognize what is wrong for you in your unique circumstance, in your unique disease physiology, which manifests your symptoms. And the nucleus of your cells command upregulation, downregulation, destroy those cancer cells, make more protein, start killing those cancer cells, stop making this, increase making that, etc., etc. It doesn't matter. No chaos. Whatever is necessary, that's what begins. It's the start, the start of the elimination of your unique symptoms. And after 30 days, 1 tablet a day, you will have the blood work of a healthy 20-year-old. And what does that mean? If you're in the audience listening tonight or to what I'm teaching you, and let's say you're 60, 70, 80 years of age, maybe even older, and you take 1 tablet a day, well, in 30 days, if they did a blood draw to test your oxidative stress level, which is a T-bars test, and they did a blood draw from a healthy 20-year-old, a team of physicians wouldn't be able to tell the blood work of the healthy 20-year-old and yours. They would not be able to differentiate between the two. That is incredible. That's 30 days. Number 2, second benchmark period, 120 days. This process that I mentioned, in 30 days, everything continues. Then the longer, according to the formulator, the longer one takes the tablet, the cellular performance improves. You will have eliminated in 120 days, 4 months, at least 70 to 80% of the oxidative stress that is causing your symptoms. Remember, oxidative stress is the cause, according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, or PubMed.gov, of all disease. And this all happens because this yellow tablet is a cellular activator. It's not a supplement. It's not for nutritional purposes. It has one purpose: to open up the pathway to the nucleus, to activate those cells to make those enzymes, which will stop the progression of the disease, start eliminating symptoms, and trigger your cellular intelligence so your cells start fixing what's wrong with you. At the end of this important second benchmark, folks, this period, doctors and researchers conclude that a reduction of the cause of disease by 70 to 80% will, and I quote, have a significant positive effect on the disappearance of or elimination of symptoms, causing a relief or an improvement to the individual taking the tablet. No prescriptions, no side effects, no tons of money spending on treatment, on the meds, no losing your hair, no depression, no other symptoms. None of that happens. Your cells do only what is necessary to make you well. Number 4, continued consumption, according to the research, will create a situation in each of you cellularly that at least 3 to 5 good quality years will be added to your life. What's the proof of that? Well, it's been scientifically validated, and I quote, it's been proven to impact lifespan by 7% while delaying disease and increasing longevity. Folks, 3 to 5 years while delaying or even in some cases preventing the development of illness or disease. Where did that research come from? The National Institute of Health and the National Institute of Aging. Point number 6, the earlier in life, according to the research, that a person activates their cells to perform like they were 20 or younger, well, you can do the math here and do the formulation, but it will increase the percentage of longevity, which means that if one starts taking this at age 30 or 35 or 40 or 45, might they add, instead of 3 to 5, 8 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, more? Well, you do some digging in the research and you'll find out that more is a probability, not a possibility. Okay? Number 7, it works for everyone at every age. The longer that a person chooses to take this tablet, well, the healthier you get. Now think of this. You're going to be getting chronologically older every day, every week, every month, every year. But when you choose to take this tablet, according to the research, you're getting chronologically older, but you're getting healthier at the cellular level, and there will be manifestations of that relative to anti-aging and how you're responding relative to your own protocol, your own choices food choice to activate your cells, so you're going to have the greatest opportunity to delay and prevent disease. And if you're sick, folks, we've had testimonies, everything from cancer to Alzheimer's and everything in between. The pill doesn't cure these problems, but it does what I just taught. It creates the production of those antioxidative enzymes, makes us young again, blood work of a 20-year-old, triggers the cellular intelligence, and even though we're all different, we eat different, we exercise differently, we sleep differently, our needs are different. That's the way God created us. It doesn't matter. This is the only thing that works for everyone, regardless of how you were created and regardless of what you're dealing with. Wow, I'm really, really spent here. It works equally as well for dogs and horses. Dogs' oxidative stress level or free radical damage level is 7 times higher than humans. That's why 1 dog year is equal to 7 human years. Evidenced by my own dog. That's why I came out of retirement to do this. This is a lifetime decision, folks. The research is based on a 4-month minimum consumption level. But the formulator said that the longer you take it, the better your cells perform. And the longer you take it, even though you're getting older, you get healthier. What's going to happen? You're going to save money. You're not going to have to go to the doctors as much. I just know somebody that was taking, close to 20 medications, and they're down to 3 now. Because of taking this tablet and allowing the research to apply to their situation. You're going to save money from potential surgeries and supplements and other treatments, etc. So just drink plenty of water. It's important to drink water. Eat a good diet, a sensible diet. Get plenty of rest. And take this yellow tablet and let the research be applied to you. It's not an accident that this formula was created to activate the cells of your body and optimize your health. Now, oh my God, not to mention that the formula, and we'll end with this, was developed after 45 years of research. The formulator is the father of anti-aging medicine. There were 23 peer reviews done on this formulation. It is so scientifically validated that 29 universities and institutions have funded their own studies. It's produced by a very large U.S. publicly traded company doing business in 21 countries. It's the most published formula in the U.S. National Library of Medicine on PubMed.gov. The most published formula, period. All the prescriptions, everything else that goes into medical research. This is not a Me Too product you buy at GNC. It's the most published formula on the most prestigious entity for storing medical research. It's protected by 12 patents. And as Paulette said, Washington State University most aptly stated, this is so powerful.
Amen.
It's the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. But to me, and this is going to be my ending approach here. We're coming down for landing. The wheels are down. That's important. But the most important factor to me is to tell you to hold on to, grasp this thought, that the most important factor is it causes the body to create those youth enzymes that keep us well and prevent and overcome the disease physiology that's happening. But it triggers our cellular intelligence, and it overcomes the uniqueness and the problem in treating people in medicine, because you're all different. Everybody's cells are different. So how are you going to use one protocol for a diagnosed disease if there's 100 people and use the same protocol and it's going to work for everybody? It's impossible, because all 100 people are different. So if you're healthy, you have the means to stay that way and improve your health and avoid and prevent disease and add at least 3 to 5 years to your life. If you're sick, it's going to trigger your cells to begin the elimination of symptoms and recreate those antioxidative enzymes so that you have a solution to your situation cellularly, and it's unique to your particular situation. Remember what the conclusive statement said. What that conclusive statement said at the beginning, that if you could find, and this was from the medical research, in order to maintain a defense against against what's saying is the cause of disease, an appropriate balance of enzymatic antioxidative defenses are necessary. Well, you have the yellow tablet. That's the antioxidative defense. What they're saying in the research, if we could only find an antioxidative defense, we could solve disease and everyone could get better. Well, folks, hallelujah. It's available. And it's $41 a bottle. And I'll say this, my last sentence. I know, I'm 69 years of age, that all that research was based on taking one tablet a day and take it for the rest of your life. Okay, but if you take 2 tablets a day, you can expect to increase exponentially the results that the research created. And there are times when I've been taking 3 a day. Oh, my God. Folks, don't knock it till you try it. It's incredible. So all of those statistics that I gave you can probably all be bumped up by taking more than 1 a day. I don't care what the disease is, what the name is, what the tag is, what the problem is. It works for everybody at every age, regardless of your circumstance, and all you have to do to get it to work is to start taking it.
Wow, Dr. Rich. You know, I want to say to everyone really quickly, because we have such a powerful testimony, please don't hang up.